Super Dirt Week, racing's biggest party, is all new this year. It's racing, music, camping, and a huge Saturday night finale. See your dirt car racing heroes battle wheel to wheel all week for a chance at glory. Get your tickets at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. The 52nd running of Super Dirt Week, October 7th through the 12th. Be there.
Toyota, Burdick, BMW, and Burdick Lexus postgame show presented by One Group and Holbrook Heating and Air Conditioning. Call in now on the Tom and Ellie DWITom.com hotline, 315-437-7644.
Oh, my. What can you even say? We'll figure it out over the next hour or so. Welcome in late night. Happy Saturday morning, people. Brian Higgins with you. It's our Burdick Toyota, Burdick Lexus, Burdick BMW, and Burdick Ford postgame show. DWITom.com hotline is open and available for the next hour at 315-437-7644. Oh, we're well past burning the midnight oil. Final score. It took overtime in Las Vegas. It took like 78 just surreal plays in a row, but Syracuse wins it in overtime on LaQuinn Allen's fourth touchdown of the game, 44-41 in a stunning, memorable, blew it 78 times, pulled it out of the fire 79, wild second-ranked win, first road win of the Fran Brown era. Welcome in, welcome in. Where to even start in a game like this? So much good, so much bad. Special teams is a complete grease fire mess. LaQuinn Allen playing with a heavily wrapped left leg and left knee from early in the third quarter on. We'll probably notice it on the TV broadcast sooner or later. And finds his way into the end zone, driving a defender the last 3 yards into the end zone with a clearly injured leg. Fourth touchdown of the game. First guy to do that since Sean Tucker had 5 against Albany 3 years and a month ago. Just an unbelievable, gutty game for LaQuinn Allen. 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 on the ground. He goes north of 130 yards of total offense and drags Syracuse to victory. Kyle McCord, 63 passes thrown, 40 of them complete. It's the second most passes ever thrown in a game by a Syracuse quarterback. He's thrown for more than 350 yards yet again, 355. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception that could have been about 5. My goodness, 2 surefire ones on what was the game-tying drive late in the fourth quarter, but somehow, I don't even know how, Syracuse pulls this one out of the fire in a game that I'd say almost equally Syracuse should have won by 20 and should have lost 10 times out of 10. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm both absolutely certain they should have won by a blowout and equally certain they shouldn't have won the game at all, which is probably how it ended up as, very ironically, a win by 3. A field goal in a game where a field goal had quite literally nothing to do with deciding it. All right, man, lots to get to. Your calls, if you're up, I want to hear from you. What are you doing? Chat is exploding right now at 12:40 in the morning. Get with us on QSportsTalk.com. You can come see. We've got mood lighting. I've got the Labatt sign on here. We're living it up here late night. But 315-437-7644 is the phone number. Let's bring in our guy Tony here in the Q's leading us off tonight. Tony, welcome. Wild game tonight, man. Wild game.
Absolutely. I'm wide awake at 12:42 in the morning.
It's something, Tony. What do you got on that one? I don't even know where to begin on this one.
Well, it's all I can tell you is the last time this happened was the Stanford game, and I think I didn't get home till 1 o'clock after the traffic and everything. But I was so upset and pissed off at that game. But now I have to stay up and listen to Fran Brown. But it's just amazing they were able to actually pull that out, especially on the 3rd and 20. We take a bad penalty, and then they turn around and come back with one. But at least we got the W, and Fran will tell you that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, this is going down as a win in the books. Easily could have been a loss. UNLV, that last penalty was their 9th for 109 yards of the game. Extremely vital. They had the roughing the passer on a screen pass late in regulation. I mean, there was just a variety of stuff in the game that you can't make up. But I guess, Tony, the good part, right, is, okay, there were penalties, but at least Syracuse was able to take advantage of them when they needed to.
Yeah, and I thought, when I saw that hit, on TV on Allen, I didn't think he was going to come back in the game. But I got to tell you, that series, Willis looked great and didn't see any of that for the whole year. But that one drive, that was when he was out, that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, LeQuint, he's clearly banged up. He was in and out for the rest of the game. But you're right, LeQuint, like the second time he left, he got hurt, came back, scored the touchdown, left. There's the immediate turnover. Willis comes in the next play and houses a 21-yard touchdown, which was a huge point of Syracuse building the 10-point lead at that point. Then it all evaporates, and they're able to get back into it with a mixture of Willis and LeQuint in the backfield with Will Nixon out. They showed him on the sideline on a scooter and a walking boot. I can't imagine we'll see him again anytime soon, if at all, this season. So we saw definitely excellent parts from both tonight as they were able to put this one away.
Yeah, I know you're going to have a bunch of callers, but I had to call in. I tried to call in before, but it just didn't work out. But, great win for him.
Right.
I'm happy for him.
All right, Tony, thanks for calling in. Always appreciate it. Calling in late night here. Tony calling us, leading us off. We didn't know. We're doing a post-game show that starts after 12:30 in the morning. We didn't know how many calls we'd get. The answer's a lot. 315-437-7644. Let's keep it moving. Steve in North Syracuse is next. Steve, that was something to watch tonight.
Well, I'm a Mets fan, so imagine what kind of a week I've had.
Yeah, you're. I'm glad your heart's still functioning here after the last 5 days, Steve.
I think it is, yeah. Also, I want to comment that a field goal had very much to do with the outcome, because holding them to a field goal set that up for us. Their penalties obviously helped us. We might have had a comfortable win if it had not been for the horrible plays on the punts. Most other teams have 3 guys in protection. It looks like we have 2, so I don't know what the concept is there. Here's how the game went. I think I've got this right. 14-0. Then nothing to 21, then 17-0, then nothing to 17, then 13-3. So that was a really bipolar game. McCord obviously is good and maybe better than anybody else in the country. He's a huge weapon. LeQuint Allen just bleeds orange. I mean, he's a guy that sued to be able to remain in the university so he could play for us, and you can see how much he wants to win for Syracuse. I was pleased that Aronde Gadsden, who had 1 catch last week, and Fadil Diggs, who had no tackles last week, had big games here, because we need those guys to have big games. But we've got to do something with not only the punt protection, but the pass protection. Adam Terry pointed out late in the last drive that McCord was being pressured when the other team only rushed 2 guys. Yeah. So we've just got to fix those things, and we could be a heck of a team. But it's amazing that we can win games with those 2 very basic areas being huge problems, and guys like McCord and Allen are the reason we're able to do it.
I'd say that. I don't know about you, Steve. Especially once the normal 3-man protection thing became a stuff on punts. I don't know, Steve, what was that 15, 20 years ago probably when that became the norm? I don't recall hardly any teams having problems getting punts blocked on the regular since then. So I've never seen anything like this. It's shocking. It's happened multiple times this season. And I mean, the same guy, right? I know he's excellent, but Stonehouse didn't have a chance to get either of those punts off.
No. So we got to fix things, but we're 4-1, and we were almost 5-0.
Yeah, one play away. All right, Steve. Thanks as always for the call. There he is, our guy, Steve in North Syracuse. The punt, I can't. We'll get into it as the show goes along. Obviously, there's plenty of good in a win. I cannot wrap my brain around the lack of ability to block to get a punt off. Back in the day in the 90s, before people invented the 3-man wall, there were punt blocks. You could get around the edge. You could do that. Once the 3-man wall became a thing, blocking punts became really, really hard. And Syracuse now is struggling to get a punt off. They punted 3 times today. Well, they attempted to punt 3 times today. The ball got kicked twice. The ball got past the line of scrimmage once. It's just baffling, inexcusable, and makes literally no sense in the context of any football that I've seen basically at any point in the last 2 decades. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Phone lines open here late night. 315-437-7644. Next up, we got our guy Mark down in NYC. Hey, Mark, what's up?
Hey, Brian. Brian, I know you'll go through the X's and O's throughout the show, but I just want to, call out. I know we're all thinking it. 23 seconds left to go in the game. 3 timeouts for UNLV. The offense for them is cruising. Ricky White is a special kid. They're fast, and they've been running pretty much screen passes and quick passes to Ricky White. It was wild that Barry Odom, the coach of UNLV, did not even think about running at least one play.
Crazy.
Seeing if they gained some yards. Just insane. And, when that happened, when they nailed it, I think we all kind of said, that was just kind of moment Syracuse is somehow going to win this game. And the fact that UNLV dropped those interceptions, it just they kept us giving gift after gift. Pretty wild. Yeah, especially
Mark. UNLV's got a good kicker. Like Crittenden is he's not great, but he's a solid kicker. Like if they had gotten, it's a long shot, but it's not like Williams was playing fast and loose with the football. He wasn't turning it over. You would have had time to take some shots, and they just went on a 95-yard drive right before that. It's not like they had trouble getting down the field the previous possession. So take a knee, all 3 timeouts, and in this day and age, that's something you would have done 20 years ago. But in this day and age, that was, it kind of got lost. They just kind of moved past it on the TV broadcast. Was that made absolutely no sense on the long list of things that made little to no sense tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely wild. And not even a question, just a quick shout out, Jaden O. Really good job with the extra points. I know special teams was a big head scratcher, but, he that was a solid, clutch extra point at the end. So just shout out Jaden O coming in and playing well. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. And I don't know about anybody else. Were you holding breath on the Jaden O extra point that was necessary to tie the game there late? Not necessarily because of him, but just because kicks have not been a thing that has worked at all this year. That was a nervy extra point from a viewing experience. I don't know how Jaden's kick was fine. There were no issues with Jaden's kick, but just the watching of it was a wild ride at that point. And yeah, to Mark's point, it'll get lost in the sauce because there was 8 million other things to discuss in the game tonight. And, the likelihood of UNLV making it down the field in 23 seconds to get to field goal range, they would have had to legit go, they were at the 25. They would have to go 40 yards realistically to have a shot at it. But to not try with 3 timeouts was bizarre, especially because the drive before that, they went 95 yards in 3 minutes with barely blinking and easily knifed their way down the field. It was beyond bizarre not to, are the odds it's going to work out? No, but the odds of disaster aren't exactly high either. So to not attempt it there was a peculiarity of some of the many coaching peculiarities that we saw from both sides of it at various points tonight. All right, let's get another call in. Again, the phone line's open, our DWITom.com hotline. Oh, yeah, it's going late night. It's here going at 12:51. It'll be here after 1 o'clock. We don't turn the phones off. They go all day and all night. 315-437-7644. Back to the phones. Our guy Dom down in North Carolina. Hey, Dom. Crazy watch tonight, huh?
Hey, oh, yes. I was my 20-year-old was with me. I have a 10-year-old, too. That's why I say that. 2 boys. But anyway, we're there watching the game, and that is the best team that we've played this year. UNLV was way beyond better than I thought. And their just open field tackling was like a clinic. I hope they watch film on that, our defense, so that they could know how to tackle. But it was nerve-wracking. I wish I didn't care that much because, I feel like my heart is in my throat right now. But this team is so much fun to watch because and it kills you at the same time. But they don't quit. And they're dogs. And the defense, they stopped in overtime because I had no faith that they were going to tackle. And to just, to not let them get a first down and to force them to a field goal there when they needed to in overtime, it was just, this is a great win. This is, I know Fran's, it's only, 5 games, but this is a signature win on this season. And I just can't wait to go to NC State game next week. I really can't. It's going to be, and I'm in the Syracuse section in section 1, and It's going to be a good time. It really is. So I'll call you after the game, win or lose, while I'm walking back to the car. Let you know how it was down in Raleigh.
All right.
So you have a good night, Brian.
Thanks for the call. And do enjoy the game next week. Tom does have tickets for the game down at in Raleigh next week. All right, there he is, our guy Tom down in North Carolina. That's what's next up a week from tomorrow, 8 o'clock. So 1 hour earlier, 8 o'clock, Raleigh. Next Saturday night, 7:30 a week and a half after that at Pittsburgh, as the Orange are they're getting used to these wild night games. We've had the Stanford game at night and this game at night, and they've both gone down to the literal last play of the game at Stanford. This one going even longer, another overtime. Just incredible night tonight. Good, bad, great, terrible. I can't think of a thing this game was lacking. It had it all, and things that I'd never even conceived before, like not being able to even get a punt off because their guy that is best at blocking punts, that is an All-American special teams player, that nobody blocked him, and then he got in again for another one, and then he caught what could have been the game-winning touchdown, and then they still lost. Like it's stunning the amount of things that happened tonight. Absolutely stunning the amount of things that happened tonight. We're just getting going here. Our DWITom.com hotline is open and available, 315-437-7644. We'll bring you something from Fran Brown before we're done here tonight. Road games is a little different than our home game procedure. We don't know if we'll be able to get his press conference at minimum. Once it airs over on TK on the Syracuse Sports Network broadcast, we'll get you his conversation with Matt Park. So before the end of our time together tonight, one way or another, we'll get you something from Fran from Vegas. So hang with us for that. Get in the chat. Man, this is like the most people we've it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and this is the largest crowd we have ever had in the chat for a football postgame show. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, largest crowd we've ever had for a football postgame show. Shout out to all of you out there. Shout out to all of you, wherever you are. Maybe you're in a different time zone. I don't know. But we are up late. We are buzzing here on a Friday night, on an early Saturday morning here in the Q's. Phone's available, 315-437-7644. Come hang out in the chat. We're taking our first break. Much more to come after this. It's our Burdick Toyota, Burdick Lexus, Burdick BMW, and Burdick Ford postgame show here on Q Sports Talk and ESPN Radio. Oh, it's still yesterday for Kodak Zach. Congratulations. Chat. Look at you guys. It is 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's 150 lunatics here with us. Unbelievable. Love it. Love it. This is why we're here, folks. This is what we're doing. Colombo Homicide. Yeah. What a crazy, stupid game. Lunatic, yeah. Here's Jordan, who is wearing a Christmas onesie. Is Jordan wearing a Christmas onesie?
It's like friggin' 1 a.m., dude. I can't wear my pajamas.
Yeah, you can wear your jammy jams.
Come on, dude. I can't just like take a little chair now.
Yeah, Jordan's here at his Christmas jammies. We're waiting for Santa with the cookies. Q4N44 has a point, Jordan, that you now need to wear that onesie every game. So that's that's your bad.
Not home games, okay? The road games are fine.
Can you wear it like under your clothes at the Dome, just sweating uncomfortably? Jordan's onesie for MVP. LaQuinn Allen, Kyle McCord, and Jordan's onesie for MVP.
Aronde, 10 catches, 142 yards.
San Diego Q says you can never take the onesie off.
Oh, wow, that's super duper aggressive.
Hughes has to be one of the handful of teams. Syracuse is 2-0 against ranked teams. Yeah, Jordan, put out cookies for Santa.
Oh, wait, I need to put out.
Well, you're the one dressed for Christmas.
I want the cookies.
Well, that's what happens. You put it out and then you eat them. That's how it works. Santa's real. Everything's fine.
Q Swansea would be great.
Yeah. Somebody get Jordan a Q Swansea.
What do you mean? I can't. No, I've got to be here. I can't let Alfie out.
Yeah. Wear it to the Dome.
No. Nice to see you, Sully. No, I can't do that.
James Filano's got to ride back with Paulie from Vegas.
Guy, you ready for? Am I gonna have to bring this to Rhode Island with me?
Yeah. So Jordan's off. Jordan's off next weekend. He'll be helping tweet and whatnot. He's going to the Pats game next Sunday. So yeah, you have to you have to wear this in another state next weekend. Yes, because it is a road game. Yeah.
No, dude. Would they even? No. I already take pictures of the food and like review the media spread.
And now you have to do it wearing a
Did Orlando get hurt?
I didn't notice that, Looky Lou, but the TV broadcast wouldn't
go Pats! Yeah! CJ's. You know what would just make me so happy? If Scooter called.
It would be hilarious if Paulie brought lots of weed back when we're 2 doors down from a weed store. Like I could throw something and hit like millions of dollars of weed. Probably driving cross country.
Waffles. I mean, I don't think I'd have to ask. Just then everybody probably already looks at me like a weirdo. Like, I can't.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna.
OG was holding his ribs. Yeah, LeQuint was great, especially since he was hurt the last half of the game.
Sleeper pick, and like it's probably not the right pick. Yassine Willis came in and got that run game going at a really crucial. Oh my God, it's Scooter!
Late night Scooter.
Yeah! Let's go!
1 a.m. Scooter, people.
Let's go, Scooter! Woo! Woo!
This is the Burdick Ford, Burdick Toyota, Burdick BMW, and Burdick Lexus postgame show presented by One Group and Holbrook Heating and Air Conditioning. Call in now on the Tom and Ellie DWITom.com hotline, 315-437-7644.
Brian Higgins with you. It's 1 in the morning. Who's with us? 1 a.m., people. We're just getting cranking. We're locked. We're loaded. DWITom.com hotline wide open at 315-437-7644. You guys know the number. Calls are coming in fast and furious. Syracuse in overtime. The last overtime game for Syracuse. Get this? Last overtime game for Syracuse. Final game of 2019, the Trill Williams game against Wake Forest. Tonight will be the LeQuint Allen game, the game of the game of the blocked punts that somehow didn't matter. I don't even know what to call this game, but Syracuse beats UNLV. These teams should play more often. Never played before. First ever meeting, 44-41, nutball game at overtime out in Vegas. All right, let's go back to the lines. We'll bring in Scooter. Scooter, all this training, I've been training all week. I've made it to one here.
Good, huh?
We're doing all right.
And Jordan's your wingman, right? It kept you awake and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan's wearing pajamas, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay here, Scoot.
Pajamas?
Yeah.
But he have slippers on, too, or what?
He legitimately, I got to tell the radio audience, he showed it off to QSportsTalk.com. Jordan is wearing a Christmas-themed onesie because he is ready for late night. Yeah, this is what we're doing here, Scoot. We're all in to late-night post-game shows now.
Well, the key part is we didn't have to punt again during the game.
Oh,
right?
thank goodness.
The key part of the I mean, we always thought we were going to have to go in 4-down territory to protect their place kicker. I guess we should probably have to go in 4 downs to protect their punter.
Yeah. The best part of overtime is you can't punt.
You can't punt. Yeah. There's so many twists and turns in this game. I mean, if you wrote the script of this, they'll throw you out of Hollywood. I mean, you can pick. I mean, we had 3rd and 4th down plays. Of course, the roughing the passer right at the end of the game. Got those calls on the road, so hopefully people out there, when they hear that we get hosed down the road, just remember we were on the road and we got some calls that sometimes you don't get on the road. So that was great. And the thing I didn't understand is, and it's great, and I knew it was going to be a high-scoring game. I knew that. We've talked about that, and who's ever going to maybe have the ball at the end. UNLV at the end, I'm shocked they didn't use any of their timeouts to stop the clock, knowing that Syracuse had a 1st and goal. And with 57 seconds left, I mean, 2nd down, call your timeout. That's going to force Syracuse. I think in the back of their mind, they still could have gone for 2. I don't know if you guys are thinking that.
The thought more than crossed our mind, especially with all the special teams issues, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. And also, they really haven't stopped us that much. We've stopped, and so when they didn't do that, I said, okay, all right, and the other thing was with 23 seconds, you had all your timeouts, and they just took the knee, and it's okay, whatever. But McCord, like I said, I think you're going to be seeing him sitting there. If there's 5 representatives for the Heisman, I think you're going to see him. That pass in the end zone, the corner, I mean, it had to be perfect.
Perfect.
It had to be perfect. And it was. And so to me, it's like I said, if you can watch this game, this is one of those games you kind of want to sit back and watch it again without having to worry about who won the game or not, because, man, it was a great game. I mean, it was one of those fan games or give any interest. That was a game that was worth watching again.
I think I'd handle the punting situations better, knowing it didn't matter in the end this time around, Scooter.
It wasn't. I mean, the joke was there was 3 people to block it. They almost didn't block it because there was 3 people could have blocked. And the other thing is, this is the amazing part. Their best player on the field is on the special teams. That Ricky White.
Yep, and he was the one. He was the one on both those plays that got there, and you knew he was. And you knew he was the one because he did it last week. Like, it's not a surprise.
But I mean, to have your star player, I mean, it's incredible. And I'll say this right now. I'll say this: UNLV will beat Boise State in 3 weeks. I don't think Boise's defense could stop them. It's one of those fluke things of UNLV. And there's a legit shot they're going to be the Power 5 representative. I think you look at the other side, James Madison, maybe Liberty. Depends how the schedules and what they do. But that team there, offensively, it's going to improve because that's only the second start for that quarterback.
Yeah.
And I just think that was a great win. The problem now is hopefully we're not too banged up for NC State. And thank God NC State's offense is not exactly what we have to worry about. But you're right. Thank God we're not playing Virginia Tech with Beamer ball next week, right?
Oh my goodness! They'd block 7. Syracuse would punt 2 times, and they'd somehow block 7 of them. It would be. I don't even want to think about that. That is a terrifying thought.
Oh my God! But like I said, this is the game they needed if you're going to win 8 or 9. Because after losing to Stanford, you got to go on the road and win at least 2 ball games. Unless we upset Miami, and who knows? At the end of the season, things can happen. We'll see what California can do and fight. By the way, the West Coast, because we're going to worry about playing real late games. I swear I saw UCLA and Penn State actually target for noon. So they're making the West Coast team play a 12 noon game, huh?
Tomorrow. That's kind of wild. Also, that's not very nice. That's not very sporting when it comes to.
I just wondered, come basketball season, that these West Coast teams basically are going to make them play, TV games, and a lot of them are noon and the 2 o'clock games. So I'm just curious. I was shocked to see UCLA because it's going to affect Syracuse the other way too. Who knows? Maybe we'll have to play 9 o'clock in the morning out there if they want the game at 12 noon Eastern time.
Yeah, or we might see the Cal game in a month and a half be the Pac-12 After Dark special and be a 10:30 kickoff, which I wouldn't completely rule out. That's what Cal's doing tomorrow night with Miami.
Well, the scary part is Jordan will probably have his jammies on for that game too. So that's a scary part.
As he should. We're bringing in cots if it's that one. If it's 10:30.
Well, living the experience. I told you I got the experience West Coast. I mean, and like I said, when it comes to basketball, you guys, if they had that road trip, like you said, you might have cots because you spend 3 days probably in the studio.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Man, crazy night. Crazy night. Great win.
Like I said, I mean, you overcome. It'd be interesting to see how many third down conversions we had, because I think we had more third down and fourth down conversions than we did on first and second. But when we threw vertically, we seemed to get the ball downfield. I was getting a little nervous. We started going a little East Coast, West Coast. And you still got to break tackles or block somebody. That's why I love verticals, because you throw it 30 yards downfield, it's one-on-one usually, unless you're being double-teamed. You don't have to worry about. And, of course, that fourth down run by Allen, right? I mean, to keep the drive going and stuff. And then you had the personal foul out of bounds that, to set them up and stuff. So everything worked the way it should. They slept with the Angels, and like I said, I don't hear any complaints that Syracuse gets hosed on the road for some bad officiating, because I think they got the better of the deal tonight.
The beauty of a non-conference road game, Scoot, is you bring your ACC refs with you.
Yeah. And it wasn't the guys from Stanford. That's the first thing I looked at, because you know me, I was going to bet the over no matter what. And I'm just crossing my fingers. It wasn't that crew. We go down. Have been 30 holding calls, and have been the most boring game. And I mean, it was a great game, even with all the. But they called a lot of defensive penalties, and therefore, they usually helps out the offense, and that was great. And Jordan, if you get some sloopy slippers to go with that, the outfit, I think it'd be a must.
There we go. Hey, we got 7 games left, Scooter. We got time to work on it. We got plenty of time to work on it.
Hey, it's late next week too, right? I mean, 8 o'clock start.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. So it's not it's not quite as bad, but we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. All right, Scooter. Thanks for the call. All right, there he is, our guy Scooter. Scooter, the master of getting up late night for the game. All right, let's. What do we got here? What is Jordan loading up for me? Here we go. Here is how the end of the game sounded down the hall. This is the call that was down the hall around the corner from Matt and Adam.
Heavy formation. Mang and Valari are left. In the gun, the snap is taken. Give to LeQuint. Hammers at the end zone. On second effort, no, he stood up. Now he fights. He dives in. Jackpot! LeQuint Allen. Jackpot in Vegas. His 4th touchdown of the game. Lifts the Orange to victory. And UNLV is no longer unbeaten.
All right, there we are. Jackpot. Matt had that one in the holster. There we are. Syracuse knocks off Vegas tonight, 44-41. Phone lines open. DWITom.com hotline 315-437-7644. Hey, light the lamps up for the rest of the show. We'll keep answering the phone. If you keep calling, we'll keep putting you on the air here later and later into the evening. I want to answer Scoot's question that he brought up here. One stat here with our Orange Insight powered by Staff Leasing. 3rd and 4th down in the game today. 3rd and 4th down in the game today. UNLV was 3 of 7 on 3rd down, did not attempt a 4th down. Syracuse, which came into the game with outstanding numbers on 3rd down this year, in the game today, in a game where Syracuse ran 96 plays and UNLV ran 50. 96 plays. That is a dream sequence, a beautiful one for the Dino Babers era, where that was the most important stat. Syracuse was 11 of 18 on 3rd down. 11 of 18 on 3rd down. Stunning numbers. 2 of 3 on 4th down. 11 of 18 on 3rd down. 2 of 3 on 4th down, keeping drives going time and time again. Time of possession in regulation was 40 minutes to 20. The Orange ran nearly twice as many plays as UNLV. It was all the extraneous stuff, the block punts, the interception, the wild stuff that almost submarined Syracuse tonight. But as far as the actual plays and whatnot, Syracuse was dominating that 3rd down conversions. That's our Orange Insight today, powered by Staff Leasing. Let Staff Leasing handle the heavy lifting when it comes to HR and payroll, so you can concentrate on scoring big in your industry. Visit staffleasinghr.com to learn more about how they can help your business stay in the game. All right, let's take a break. Phone lines remain open after this, 315-437-7644. Still waiting on something from Vegas from Fran Brown. We'll get that to your way before the end of our time together here today. Come hang out in the chat. Man, we're still going like 150 strong in the chat, people. It's 1:11 in the morning. Shout out to all you crazed Cuse fans out there. 1 o'clock in the morning. God bless y'all. Back after this here on Q Sports Talk at ESPN Radio. Yeah, Ross Simmons is out there a little bit. Yeah, that was a real bad end of the game clock management sequence by Vegas. Yeah, who needs sleep, Rufus? I don't even know if Justice got targeted at all. I don't need a special teams expert to know they need to learn how to block a punt rush. My goodness. It has been a bit of a long one, Jacoby. Thank goodness it wasn't a bad game. We're still working adrenaline. Shout out to the bat sign, mood lighting, late night. Yeah, the collar's peeking through, Mike. We went with the hoodie, but we still only had the polo on from before for underneath. It was a little chilly. Now it's a little warm in here, but I don't feel like taking off the hoodie. Shout out to the Syracuse Nationals hoodie. I don't know what they're doing on the punt, Devin. It makes zero sense. Ryan, does anyone feel they weren't horrible? McCord took a lot of hits today, Team Old. A lot. Somehow I doubt Fran is going to fire somebody in his first year, 5 games in, literally. But they're going to need to adjust some things. You like the announcers. Interesting take, subjected. I felt subjected. Yeah, can't be high, Rufus. Yeah, and Petrie, the punt that got blocked against Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago, I don't know what his assignment is, but it was the same thing. The guy ran right past his shoulder. So I don't know what the deal is. Yes on both. Absolutely okay with the field goal at half. The field goal at halftime was the correct play. The reason you go for it that close to the end zone, not late in the half, is because the other option, if you don't miss it, is the other team's backed up. Late in the half, you don't get the benefit of backing them up, so you take the points. Late in the game, I understand why people would have said go for 2, because obviously special teams was a grease fire at that point. But that said, UNLV wasn't really stopping your offense, so like if you wanted to go for 2 and end it. But yeah, I was absolutely good with the decision at halftime. I could see why people were saying the other at the end of the game, but I was cool with that decision. You were not the only person that said that, Q444. He had a little Anish in his voice. But whoever was running the high game camera was struggling to locate the game for a decent chunk of it. And also, Anish does not work for Fox. We're to find out, Lukey Lou, because that's what's going to happen. Whether he makes it or not, that's what they're doing. That was the... Hang on, we're scrolling. That's a fact, Devin. Good Lord, why will my mouse not stop scrolling? Where is what I am looking for? But McCord's now played 3 games, and he's thrown for more than 300 yards in all of them. So that's pretty good. Yeah, McCord in his last 2 games has now the second and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The second and 10th most pass attempts in a game in school history. Gus don't do FS1, Zach. He does F. O-X.
Conditioning. Call in now on the Tom and Ellie DWITom.com hotline. 315-437-7644.
Yes, it's 1:15 in the morning. 1:16. Almost 1:17 to be precise. Yes, our phones still work. Yes, we have people answering the phones at 1:15 in the morning. Don't question it. Just pick up your phone and call. 315-437-7644. What a bonkers game. What a bonkers game. 44-41, Syracuse knocks off UNLV. First meeting ever between the programs. It took overtime. I don't know what it took. It took everything good, everything bad, and everything otherwise you could toss into 3.5 hours of football to spit this thing out the other end. It was an asinine game tonight, pretty much from the opening where Syracuse just ripped down the field in their first 2 drives of the game to suddenly giving up 3 touchdowns in a row to then it turning into, football is not supposed to be a game of runs. And that's what we got tonight. That's what we got tonight. Still waiting to hear from Fran Brown. Hopefully we'll get that to you sooner than later. You know, there are no clocks in Vegas, so I can understand how things can take a little bit longer post-game. Can take a little bit longer post-game out in the desert. Man, can you imagine that flight back if they had lost that game? Whoo, doggy. Do they have enough ice to wrap LaQuinn Allen for the entire way back? Because what a tough SOB. He got that hit on his knee, his left knee, left leg, early third quarter. Immediate, like the camera, you know, why would the camera look at the injured guy on the ground? They cut away and showed 9 million different things, and then nobody seems sure where he's going. He's being chased by the trainer down the sideline with an ice bag. He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. But he was in there on the last play of the game, just driving for the last 2 or 3 yards, a UNLV defender into the end zone. I mean, Kyle McCord, who's now thrown for more than 350 every game of his Syracuse career and leads the country in passing yards per game, that's still right around 360 yards a game. A Syracuse quarterback, 5 games in, leads the country in passing yards per game. Marinating that for a little bit. But on the game-tying touchdown drive, he could have been intercepted twice. Like, it was one of those, oh my goodness, what is happening? Hold on to your hats. Saved by a flag. Drive continues. And then when you get down to it, the touchdown pass to tie the game is as good of a throw and catch by Meeks as you're going to make. Right where it needed to be. And just perfect. Go back earlier in the game, the touchdown catch that LaQuinn Allen had on the little swing pass out to the side that, like, at least from the angle they showed immediately on TV. I don't know about the rest of you. When that ball was in the air, I said, oh, my God, it's a pick six. And then somehow it got through and LaQuinn's in the end zone. And you're staring at it like, what? No, that's a pick six. What? It was like an optical illusion, it appeared, of what happened there. It was wild, just wild to watch as the show and the game went along. It felt like a Vegas show at points because there were surprises and twists and turns around every corner. Let's hit you with some of the post-game stats from this one because there's a lot of stats. There's a lot of stats. In a game that Syracuse ends up winning by 3, they outgain Las Vegas by 140 yards, total offense 492 to 354. McCord in the game. And what's crazy is this is just becoming normal. Kyle McCord was 40 of 63 for 355 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. 40 of 63 for 355 yards, 3 touchdowns, and interception. That is a normal game for the Syracuse quarterback now. This has never happened before in school history. On this level, this repetitive, and now this is just what happens. This is the normal. This is normal. This is what Syracuse does now. This, after 44 years of having a dome and the ability to sling it all over the place, this is what happens in Syracuse football games now. The 40 completions is the 3rd most in the game. In school history. Ryan Nassib in the game where he threw it 66 times for the record, completed 45 passes in the season opener against Northwestern in 2012. Zach Mahoney in the 76-61 loss to Pittsburgh, which we all remember, he went 43 of 61 in that game. Zach Mahoney, go figure, had 2 games in his Syracuse career in which he threw more than 60 passes in a game. Shout out to Zach Mahoney, Cuse legend. Absolute Cuse legend. It's just, this is what's happening this year, and it's happening every game. Kyle McCord last week became the first Cuse quarterback to throw for 4 consecutive 300-yard games. Now he's done it 5 times in a row, and it just doesn't appear like there's any good reason, like, why this might stop. Like, why is it going to stop? Why is it going to stop? It looks like Fran's talking with Matt Park right now over on TK, so we'll get that to you as soon as possible here on our end. We'll hang out for a little bit and get that to you as soon as possible on our end. So we'll get that cooking here in just a second here on our end, hopefully, but. Just you can't look at this and like see anything that's not absolutely nuts at this point in the final stats of the game here today. How about the game of LaQuinn Allen? How about this game? 19 carries for 71 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. 9 catches on 12 targets for 58 yards and 2 more touchdowns. So he had 28 touches in the game for 129 yards, playing half the game with a clearly banged up knee, leg, whatever it is. What a game of toughness. I mean, we all knew LaQuinn's tough. You know, other guys, they wouldn't have come back in the game. Syracuse is down Will Nixon. We saw him on the sideline in a cart with a boot rolling around. You seen Willis, the freshman, had a very nice game, right? You seen it 8 carries for 62 yards, and then that touchdown run. He had the 21-yard touchdown run in the game. But this is one that you just look at how the game went, and you look at LaQuinn, and you look at the injuries, and he's in and he's out, and you're like, well, he must be banged up if he's not in on this play. And it's like, how could he possibly not be in on this play? And this is just like, what is going on here if he's not in on this play? And then somehow he's the one that bulls them into the end zone to win the game. It was just an absolutely stunning game by LaQuinn today. Just absolutely stunning game by LaQuinn to win the game today. We're getting you the Fran Brown here sooner than later. We're seconds away. We're loading. Are we loading? We're loading. Hang on. We gotta figure out where the beginning is. Hang on. We're figuring this out. It's somewhere. Where is it? Why don't we hear it? Listening.
You're with Coach Brown.
Where's the sound? Come on. Where's the sound? What are we doing here? Something's happening. We'll figure it out here. Where's the sound? Why am I not hearing it? I should be hearing it. It's 1:25 in the morning. Technology can get tricky at 1:25 in the morning. Staring at the computer. We'll figure this out. We're going to figure this out. Hang on. We're going to figure this out. We're figuring it out. Jordan's clicking. I'm clicking. We're battling over the computer mouse at 1:25 in the morning. We're on top of it. We're stand by. Fran Brown, Las Vegas. Soon. Coming. Stand by. Why am I I feel I should be hearing something right now. Why am I not hearing something right now? Okay, hang on. There we go. What now? Now things are playing in multiple places. Hang on. We're gonna fix this. Talking my way through it. It's weird o'clock in the morning. We're gonna figure this out. Hang on. Fran Brown, Las Vegas, Matt Park, Coach Brown, as just heard on TK99, the Syracuse Sports Network from Learfield. Here we go. Fran Brown postgame.
Welcome back, guys. We are with Coach Brown in the locker room here, and Coach, road win against the ranked team. Awfully tough to come by. Congratulations. And this one took 15 rounds and then some.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. It was a big fight, man. It was really fun, and we actually went and watched Toro Gotti and Mickey Ward, and it's kind of is how it ended, the same way.
We talked during the week. It's the type of thing you think about when you think of Vegas. Prime time, Friday night, waiting all day for a huge fight or game or whatever. And this one turned out to be that way. You guys get up to the big early lead. You couldn't have started better. 3 and out on defense. You go down the field. It's 14-0. Slips away. What was the resilience factor on the sideline like?
I was just up and down, but it was the monotony of football, man. They're a good football team. Coach Odom does a good job. I thought their defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator done really well in spurts, just like ours. So it was a fight, to be honest. It was a big fight. And unfortunately, we got lucky because their special teams beat our special teams. So, but our offense and defense, they pulled through, and it was just some of the possessions that we ended up winning a little bit more.
Well, you needed key plays here and there. 3rd down, we just talked with LaQuinn Allen. He's in on, he might be hobbled, but he's on the field on the key 3rd downs. There was a key one on your sideline late in the game. What did you get out of him when you needed it most?
I mean, he's a warrior. He's the passion about football team. Like I tell everybody, talk about Dart, that's Dart. Yeah, that's Dart, and it's really the T. You know what I mean? It's really the T. He's the toughness in it, and I'm just very thankful for that kid, man. I'm so I'm thankful that he's here because he's a really good football player, but he loves Syracuse. You know, it's like when you're around somebody and just love it, he loved the school. Like, he loves the school, and he deserves that.
Well, that game-winning touchdown was a sight to behold with toughness on that run, keeping it going, keeping the legs driving, and getting into the end zone was a huge showing for him. Kyle McCord does it again, Coach. Just incredible numbers, but it seems to me the patience, the poise that he showed was really the key asset today.
Yeah, he doesn't panic. You know, he doesn't flinch. You know, he threw that pick late in the game, and it was just like, we good. Defense going to go do what they got to do, wherever it's at, and he just came back down, threw a touchdown pass, came down, had other scrambles, and then, unfortunately, personal fouls, how it goes, and boom, move in. It's just, we living right.
Yeah, well, it seemed that way. I mean, again, there were breaks each way. There were missed opportunities each way. You mentioned the kicking game quickly, and as you say, special teams, there's so many different aspects of it. The missed field goals were the sore spot last week. All the kicks made in this one, and then obviously punt protection is an issue that's still going to get your attention. One of
them was just clearly two guys didn't block their guy, and they went through. Two guys that we count on that are really good football players. They didn't block their guy. They weren't locked in. They weren't detailed. You know, they weren't detailed at the time, and but I guess that relentless effort, helped us a lot.
Well, if you're going to have a 4-hour flight home after a game like this, you might as well do it after a win. Really exciting stuff. I know the fan base, Coach, which gathered here in Vegas, they're awfully excited about this. So enjoy it with your family and your staff and your team, and best of luck, okay? Safe travels home.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, and you be safe.
All right, that's Fran Brown of the now 4-1 Orange. UNLV was ranked. They dropped to 4-1. A road-ranked win gets the Orange in the win column. This is our Connors and Ferris.
All right, Matt Park, as just heard over on TK99 and the Syracuse Sports Network from Learfield broadcast. Oh, yeah, we have dueling broadcasts originating from the same building at 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, that's right. It's 1:30 in the morning, and we're still cooking out here tonight, people. We're doing it for you. Phone line's still open if you'd like to chime in, 315-437-7644. We got a few minutes left. We still got just an ungodly crowd in the chat tonight. People are, I can't, the adrenaline about Syracuse right now. No sleep in Cuse. People are up late tonight. Last break. We'll come back. More chat after this. We'll stay here as long as you're calling. We'll hang out in the chat for a few more minutes. 315-437-7644. We'll step aside here. We're back after this here on our Burdick Toyota, Burdick Lexus, Burdick BMW, Burdick Ford postgame show. Back after this, Q Sports Talk and ESPN Radio. Whew, I almost forgot some of the Burdicks. Yes, Q4 but we don't really have access to it live when it is not a home game. They don't really stream them live, and Jordan is not there. Something like that, Lukey Lou. Yes, Stephen. We are in Syracuse, and the game is in Las Vegas. Unless the press conference magically becomes uploaded in the next couple of minutes. We have much less control over the road games than we do the home games when Jordan is there in person to get things connected and pulled off for us. It will, but that hour makes a big difference. 8 o'clock versus 9 o'clock is rather significant, is it not? In theory, Ryan, but he's also doing the other job of keeping the other broadcast on the air. We had a little Wildcat, Zach. Jordan picked it up on his way back. We had people slinging bits around, Kevin and Jen and Devin and others pregame, which kind of took care of the old pizza tab pregame, which is pretty sweet. So thank y'all. That was excellent. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked, SL 123450, if that game starts at like 10:30, full Pac-12 after dark. Yeah, but if that had happened in the reverse, Lukey Lou, we would have lost our mind. But yes, that was a penalty. Much like Syracuse fans are probably annoyed about the cut block that happened before, but letter of the law, that was the right call. That was the right call. Yeah, if you guys are going to fling bits at us every week so we can buy dinner, well, we'll take the tradition, Devin. We're not out here begging for it, but, we appreciate y'all, and we don't turn down kind gestures. Is everybody enjoying the mood lighting in the Labatt sign? We got a hype. We got the hype train. Shout out to Bixby. The numbers are still at the top there, the bits that were donated earlier, so you can see our... Kev is here. Kev's been up for it's happy birthday, Kev. Kev's been up for 23 hours. There's 125 of you in the chat right now. Lunatics all. We love it. Facts, Jacoby. Absolute facts. Yeah, mood lighting, Jen. Late night. Huge win crunch time. Huge time. I will not be giving out Ed's email address for that activity, Ryan. Can I find happy birthday song to play really fast? Running out of time. Is it playing? Why is the Q speaker not working? What's going on? Oh. Info bells. Play the song. There we go. What a weird start to happy birthday. They're vibing. All right, now the commercial's over. We got to turn it off.
Presented by One Group and Holbrook Heating and Air Conditioning. Call in now on the Tom and Ellie DWITom.com hotline. 315-437-7644.
We're still here, people. You're still here. All of these things are stunning. It's 1:35 in the morning. It's Friday night to Saturday morning. Syracuse has gone out to Las Vegas and played one of the more stupefying, unbelievable games you're ever going to take in with your eyeballs, and knocks off UNLV in overtime 44-41. A clearly injured and hobbled LaQuinn Allen driving a UNLV defender into the end zone, dragging him the last 3 yards, not stopping, refusing to give up. As Fran Brown just said, Dart, that was the T. T is toughness. The D earlier in the game, the details, lacking on getting the punts off, disturbing in many ways. And, man, in so many ways, like the Dino Babers era the last few years, things got stale, right? We kept, the same good things happened, the same bad things happened. Early stages, Fran Brown here. New head coach, knew a lot of coaches. We're just seeing a lot of things every week that you can't possibly wrap your brain around. That the hope is you got a quarterback in Kyle McCord that's literally throwing for 350 and multiple touchdowns every game. He's leading the country in passing as a Syracuse quarterback. Leading the country in passing. Hard to wrap your brain around. Never has happened before. The dysfunction on special teams right now is stunning to behold. The play calls getting it. I don't know about you. The amount of times we were sitting there watching the game tonight that I'm just saying, play clock! The amount of times that happened was 20? Call the play! Get the play! Play clock! I know there's no clocks in Vegas. By rules, they're required to have them on the field. I know y'all can see them. Get the play in. So the amount of things that are just amazingly frustrating that have been going on 5 games into the season. But we talked about it for the last 10 months. This is a new head coach who's never done it before. There are going to be just some beyond strange growing pains that are hard to predict ahead of time because he doesn't know what he doesn't know yet. Nobody knows yet what he doesn't know. And we're seeing, I'd like to think they're going to be able to figure out punt protection before the end of the season because, frankly, it's not that hard. Easy for me to say. It would be hard for me. I'm not a lineman. I am not a punt protector. But, ever since, three-man protections came in vogue in college football, 20 years ago now? 15, 20 years ago? It's been a long time. Punts, punt blocks didn't go away, but it became, between that and the rugby kick, it became damn near impossible to block a punt. And now it's damn near impossible for Syracuse to get a punt off. And yet, despite free 14 points for the other team on punt block, despite in the Georgia Tech game, punt block, field goal block, missed field goal, despite all those things, they won both of those games. And 5 games into the Fran Brown era, Syracuse has beaten 2 ranked teams. Georgia Tech was ranked at the time. UNLV was ranked at the time. I don't care that the Yellow Jackets are no longer ranked. I don't care that UNLV won't be ranked next week. I don't care. Fran Brown, despite all of these calamities and misfires and errors, has an equal amount of successes and exclamation points and wow moments so far as Syracuse is 4-1. Syracuse is 2-0 against ranked teams. Syracuse is 1-0 on the road, and my goodness, I'm not a huge roller coaster guy. Woo! I think this is why. I don't know if I can take too much more of this. We'll hop on again next week. All right, time now for improving the team from Wadham's Enterprises. Step 1, protect the punter. Thank you. Step 2, protect the quarterback. Kyle McCord took a lot of hits tonight. But, man, if Syracuse literally just could have gotten punts off tonight, they win the game going away. So, in theory, it should be the simplest thing going is to allow Jack Stonehouse, who had no issues punting the ball last year, and now can't get the ball off his foot. So, let's put the issues elsewhere. Step 1 to improving the team. Learn how to protect Jack Stonehouse, or just literally never punt. Either way, I'm cool with it. That's the main thing to improve the team. There's going to be pressure on McCord. The offensive line's not great. He's dealing with it reasonably enough. The hope is he doesn't get banged around because we know this is about the month of the year that Syracuse's quarterbacks usually go down and don't get back up. Keep McCord on his feet. Get the ball off Stonehouse's foot, and you're going to be in pretty good shape going forward. That's improving the team from Wadham's Enterprises. Wadham's improving their team. They have home daily CDLA driving positions available for experienced drivers. They also offer CDLA training at no cost with a job waiting upon completion. Call recruiting today. I suppose you could try right now. You're probably not going to get an answer. It's 1:40 in the morning. I don't know. Give it a go. 800-334-1314. 800-334-1314. Protect Jack Stonehouse. Protect Kyle McCord. Win the game. Next week, late night again, not quite as. Syracuse in Raleigh at NC State. 8 o'clock kick in Raleigh. We'll get you full coverage details. The crunch game tonight, there's a lot going on, but we'll be here one way or another getting you ready for the game and taking you through postgame as Syracuse gets back into conference play for the next month. The next 5 are in the ACC, but the Orange are heading down to a wobbly NC State team in Raleigh, sitting 4-1 in the country, and I'd say more likely than not, they're one away from getting ranked themselves. If they go down there and win next week, they'll have a number next to their name in 2 weeks' time before a bye week and headed to Pittsburgh on a Thursday night. It has been a fascinating opening 5 games of the season. All right. We have spent an hour with you at 1:40 in the morning. There are still more than 100 people in the chat right now on QSportsTalk.com. Shout out to all the crazies out there. You've been great tonight. You've been with us. We were doing 5 hours of pregame. We're here at 1:30 in the morning. Where else in the country we're doing stuff like this? Unbelievable effort from the chat and you listeners tonight and everybody burning the midnight oil, the 1 a.m. oil, the 2 a.m. oil, whenever the heck you're going to bed tonight. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. Hopefully everyone's okay after the crazy game that we watched today. Syracuse is 4-1. Y'all enjoy the weekend. Game next Saturday. Monday, tune back in. Orange Nation at noon. It'll be Stephen Jordan. Fran Brown press conference coming your way live at 1 o'clock. Newhouse afternoon coming to you live at 2. Tune in at 3. Tune in at 3. We got a little special something for you coming at 3 this week. Hint, hint. Tune in. Things are happening. Tune in at 3 on Monday. I'll be with you at 4. Adam Terry will be on the show. We'll get his thoughts on whatever the heck he is that he watched out tonight. Everyone, go to bed. Everyone, go to bed. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk Monday here on Q Sports Talk at ESPN Radio.
Mike Greenberg.
That season is going to go down as